welcome back to Wind Tunnel TV and race number 1 here in the Raid Furniture Mart Super Series. An early jump as lap 1. The race is underway already. Colin J. Kennedy out front, newcomer Zach Woods in second, Adam Newton in third, and Adam Cole is spinning. So Adam Cole gives us a quick break here to kind of break down this race. Weren't expecting the early start here, folks, but we're up and running. I'm Dean Doucette, joined tonight by Mr. Baron Labosco. Baron, we're off and running.
We're off. I mean, we're out of here just like Brittany Griner out of a Russian prison, son. We are making our way.
Absolutely. You see here Adam Cole, a little rub of the wall down into the corner, right in the middle. Car floats high on him, and he starts to maybe try and hold it down underneath him. Breaks loose. Round he goes. No real damage to anybody, and we'll re-rack him.
Yeah, we're off on a new season here at the Furniture Mart iRacing Series, and my God, if we didn't get off to a great start there, but we don't start strong, Dean, but we sure do finish well, don't we?
We're finishers. We're closers, as they say. Looking in the pits, here comes Jeff Werderman, Austin Miller. He's, he'll be that late guy to show up. Got a new paint job. I like that. And Adam Cole as well on pit road. Talking about, we didn't get a chance, obviously, pre-race to talk about this stuff, but we got some new ownership here. Newton and Brian Cole have kind of taken over things here, and I'm sure they'll do a great job. You got a new season. We got a new sponsor. We got Mama June's coming on board here to help sponsor this thing, and Collins and Hines also out there sponsoring us. So we're happy to have those along, Baron.
Yeah, we sure are. And look, along with a lot of new sponsors, there's some new rule changes. So for those of you that have been following us right along through the last 4 seasons here on Wind Tunnel TV, no fast repairs with this group anymore. So you run with your brung, you hit the wall, you run damage. And now lap number 5 of 150, we might have some guys with a little bit of damage. But Dean, we got some new faces too.
Yeah, definitely got a few new faces. Dale Garrett out here in the 72. You can see him looking sharp out there. Not sure who else we got out here.
Zach Woods.
Zach Woods up in second, right? In the 51.
That 51 machine, yep.
Dark, menacing looking vehicle here.
Simple, black, and on the front row, Dean.
If you're going to go simple, black's the way to go. I mean, there's a reason the women put on a little black dress, isn't there?
I believe so. Keep it simple and unwrap the prize at the end of the evening.
There you go. Exactly correct. As always, on point, Mr. Labosco. On the point here. I think Colin's still on the point. Is he not? Maybe it's Zach. Colin leads him from the high side. Interesting choice from him. Third place battle between Lem and Newton down into the corner. Lem way up high, trying to hang it out there and get a run. That might work. It might not, Baron.
Yeah, at this track, 2 grooves are going to be hard to come by, but what we're looking at is Tyler Lem. He's been out there before, and we've seen him make passes like that in previous seasons. We'll see if we can make it work, but looks like we got some slow folks at the back of the field.
Yeah, something happened with Austin Miller there, so we're not sure exactly what transpired, but a little bit of trouble. Lem beating Newton there, and it looks like Perry's gotten around him as well, so we missed a little action there too.
And speaking of missing, Walker Cole not in the field tonight. Walker, our runner-up last year at the end of the season, looking for Walker.
Lem.
Yeah,
Lem
on his way to the bottom, didn't he?
So lots coming on, lots going around here. We're under caution. Let's get a look in and see what happened here to Tyler Lem. You see him running third all alone, Baron. Shouldn't be a problem.
Well, a little bit too much of the right foot there.
Oh, and behind him, did you see Perry?
Yeah, Perry just got scared.
Yeah, he got a little jittery there. That'll happen, Someone loses it kind of mid-corner there, and I think he did a great job, Lem did, not overcorrecting. You've seen that sudden little movement, but not too much. But Perry got spooked. That'll happen to you.
It will, and nerves are high. First race of the season, everybody wants to make a good first impression, and you can start your season off in the hole, and nobody wants to do that. So looking to keep the fenders on these things, and looks like Hines just got a little nervous and looped it around. No real damage on that machine. He'll be fine.
So back to newcomers, we forgot to mention one, maybe because I know him. That's the O2 here, Mr. Jason Spear out here. We'll see what he can do tonight.
Yeah, we're used to seeing Jason in the big cars, right? He loves to run the big NASCAR trucks and Xfinity Series. He's a big fan of the next gen car, and tonight he's running some late models. Sometimes you'll see Jason in the booth with us too, running a little cameo when I can't be around. So we're pulling for Jason tonight. What a character! If you ever get a chance to reach out to Jason, talk racing with him, he will talk your ear off. So.
Yeah, quite a character and a great add to any league. Part of this is having fun and making friendships, and really nobody does it better than Jason.
Yeah, that whole Spear group. If you haven't, if you're on the iRacing server, I'm sure you've seen one of the many Spear running around there, Spears, if you will. So yeah, Jason, just another one there, and a great guy. Wishing him the best of luck throughout this season.
Right now, it's Woods and Kennedy. I believe Kennedy, your race leader, still starting on the high side. Do you find that interesting at all?
Well, he made it work the last two restarts, so why not, right? This track seems to be working for him on the restart from the high side, so if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
Absolutely. 150 laps here in lap 13. Green flag drops. Even start this time. So Colin a little slow, or Zach pretty good on the low side, but Colin's going to get him, and Zach's starting to blink out a bit. That could be a problem. Back in the here we got Pearson and Lem. Lem on the high side one more time.
Yeah, and he's kind of familiar with that now, right? So he's got himself stuck up there. Hopefully, a little better result than the caution he brought out earlier. He'll get his way down there, though. 72 putting pressure on him, though. That's Dale Garrett.
And Lem's in the wall. He hangs on. Everybody a great job of avoiding that. They were 3 wide momentarily there.
Boy, they sure were. And significant right front damage to Tyler Lem's car. So we'll see what he can do with that under green now.
See Austin Miller running that Miller paint job coming underneath Jeff Werderman. So Werderman up on the high side. He don't like it up there too much.
Well, apparently it's not doing a whole lot of good for anybody there. And veteran Colin Kennedy right now under a lot of pressure from the rookie here, Zach Woods. And we'll see if Zach can maybe shake the tree a little bit here of the 3 car.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what he's trying to do here. It's just rattle him, and this is what I like to do, Baron. Get on that bumper, kind of come high to low and fill that mirror a bit, and just ride here for 20 or 40 laps and see if you can't shake that fruit loose.
Now, Kennedy knows what he's doing. He's won a few of these races now. Really came on towards the end of last season and finds himself out front right now. A little bit of pressure coming from that 51, but I think Colin's been used to this. All he has to do is maintain his line and keep that 51 in his rear view.
How about Adam Newton? Made his way back into 3rd here. Wasn't the best of starts at the beginning of the race, but he looks comfortable now. And this is where I'd like to be right now. Is I don't want to be harassed. I don't want a car in front of me for my braking point. I certainly don't want one on my bumper. So here we go.
Got a nose
he's got a nose into him. Kennedy trying to save it. He does. Does anybody hit him?
Gets it locked down.
Oh, he does. Miller gets into him. How unfortunate. And he's on his lid. He'll have to go to the garage. Oh, disaster. Let's have another look at it. So newcomer Zach Woods down on the bottom here. And he's hugging the line. Really, I don't think he really did anything there. It might be, just racing and maybe even Colin not kind of going up the track. Hard to call. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't make these calls.
Yeah, kind of tough. We call it net code sometimes. We're not in the cockpits here, ladies and gentlemen. So, what you probably saw is a little gap between the 51 and the 3 there, and then suddenly the 3 turns around. But the only people that can really feel that are inside those race cars. And from the vision that we had, it looked like there was a little bit of gap, but hard telling. Both drivers know better than we do up here.
Yeah, absolutely. It was good hard racing. I didn't see Zach Woods, when you come to a newcomer, you want to be clean and everything, and it looked like he raced pretty clean there, but hard to say for certain. But this is going to hand the lead over to Mr. Newton here in the 5. He's got to be loving that. It's always, one person's problems, another opportunity for someone.
Yeah, and that brings Fred Lester along with him and newcomer Dale Garrett. And I love the name Dale Garrett. I'm gonna say Dale Jarrett once before this season is over. I promise. I'll just mess it up. So,
No doubt about a
but
great racing name for sure.
for sure, yeah, great family racing name. So Dale's got himself in third, up 11 spots. Ryman Castle behind him, up 8 spots in fourth. Rounding out the top 5, right? Jason Spear, we talked about him a little bit, the O2. So yeah, we got some comers and goers here, Dean.
Yeah, definitely. A little surprised to see Spear up here. Talking to him pre-race, tell him to hang around the back early on and take it easy. Here he is in 5th place, and this can happen with a couple of cautions and a couple of wrecks.
So yeah, 25 into 150 in the first race of the season here at the American Mattress Serta Sheep 150. Go out and get your Serta mattress and perform whatever activities you choose. So
Absolutely. Yeah, I love those sponsors. Mama June's coming on. The green flag drops here. We're on board with Pearson on the high side, and you see all the jockeying around right in front of them. Looking from Lem right behind Spear down on the low side. And it's a mess up here, man. This is hardcore, hard racing.
close quarters, right?
Oh, and this
we got
contact
one
Spear
around.
got into him.
Under green still. We got one around here, don't we?
We had one going around. Miller's back there. I'm not sure.
Looks like Ryman Castle was the victim in all that. Zach Woods and Ryman Castle, who were up front, now in the back, 11th and 12th. And that provides Adam Newton with quite a gap here.
Let's see if we can get a look in on it here, Baron. You see the 02 and the 1 up on top. So the blue car up on the high side, the red car down low. Ooh, and it looks like just a bit of a late entry from the 02, and around goes the 1 of Ryman Castle.
But we stay under green.
And we got Alan Roel around here. So he's on the track, spinning it around. No caution. Very interesting. Ooh, and there goes Miller sneaking on by.
Yeah, so the admin's in control of the yellow flags tonight. And it looks like the admins are telling everybody, calm down, we're going to let you all run, and that's your fault, right?
Very interesting indeed. Dale Garrett sitting here in 2nd. He's moved up 12 spots already, Baron. That's quite a move.
Yeah, it sure is, especially for his first time out with this group. So, and just to clarify for the folks in the field that are watching and new maybe to the series, the admins control the yellow flags. When they see an incident, they will throw it. And if they don't deem the incident dangerous to the other drivers on the track, it is race on condition. So some of these guys with single car spins may be out of luck and find themselves at the rear of the field.
Yeah, always interesting when they are left up to the admins. A tough job, to be sure. Newton out front, Garrett in 2nd, Lester in 3rd, and Spear in 4th, Lem in 5th position, Bruce Pearson in 6th. He's under heat from Adam Cole, trying to recover from an early spin. The 83 marching by, going into 6th position. It's Perry in 8th, and Zach Woods in 9th after his incident. Jeff Werdeman rounds out the top 10.
Yeah, so a lot of veteran racers here. Love seeing the side-by-side racing. Adam Cole doing a great job in that K-T.org machine. Title sponsor there on that machine, Dean, and he's got his hands full all around him.
Yeah, he really does. He's got his hands full. Bruce Pearson on the outside is just doing a great job. And now, is this the case? You talk about it a lot, how these tracks will wear in at some point. Are we seeing the High Line already coming in here?
Well, it would appear. So Bruce Pearson's doing a great job of holding off the 83. Now, the 83's cutting him some slack. Don't get me wrong. He's not wearing him out, and he's not wearing out his stuff. So this is going to be, a pass by inches and not by feet. So If Bruce is smart, he'll keep managing his stuff there and hold that 83 down. It may pay off for him in the long run.
It might. I mean, it might, or he might let someone else fill the gap and he'll be up there for another 20 laps. There he goes, filing in right now. Behind him, it's still Woods fighting with Perry.
Yeah, and Zach Woods got a fast car, so if there's not too much damage on that thing, we could see Zach make a march back to the front at lap 38 of 150. He's got plenty of time.
Oh, and a little contact as Woods pushes it a little, got a little impatient there, pushed out just a bit, but made it work. Perry pays the price way up the track, still trying to gather himself up. You see Colin J. Kennedy there. He's at least a lap, I think 2 down, so Kennedy's in trouble. Up front, Newton and Garrett still running 1 and 2.
Yeah, and Newton, an old veteran here, so he knows what he's doing out front. And Adam is probably just going to, let his stuff come in and take care of it so that that 72 doesn't get any closer in the long run. Big old gap back to Fred Lester. So these two actually setting pace, and the rest of the field is playing catch up.
Roel spins out down onto Pit Road, so Alan Roel not quite having the night that he was hoping for so far.
It looks like that's a pit stop gone wrong there, Dean. I mean, he made it in. Let's see if he didn't get caught speeding.
Looks like Adam Cole's had a problem as well. So what is going on out here? Let's have a look at a replay of what happened to Adam Cole. You see him all alone here. Should be good to go. I'm projecting the off the corners. Oh, it's on entry this time. Logs him down, no harm, no foul. Down and away he goes.
So these tires are getting warm, Dean, and on the longer run, I imagine they're getting a little greasy. So some of these guys contending with some loose conditions now.
Yeah, absolutely they are. They're fighting it pretty hard. So far, so good for the top 5. Got to go all the way back here to 6th position. Woods, Castle, Pearson, Perry, Werderman, and Cole. Not Cole, not quite yet, but Werderman may be still in it. I think it was Kennedy. Yes, Kennedy I'm looking at there, and Perry. I think they're both a little bit off the pace. Perry actually shown in 9th. With Pearson in 8th, so I'm just a little erratic right now, Barrett. We're gonna throw it over to you.
Oh man, I was just watching you, struggle there.
Oh my goodness!
And it was brilliance in broadcasting. I got to tell you.
Oh, I've set new standards, Barrett.
Yep. Shout out to the 10 to 15 people in the chat room right now watching us live on YouTube. Welcome to the Furniture Mart iRacing series. Nice action all along the track. Shout out your favorite driver. I always see guys pulling for Lem, the 99. We got Colin J. Kennedy supporters in the room already. There's a couple Cole supporters in there. We see everybody. So shout out to the folks watching at home.
Let's see here, Ryman Castle, stalking Woods, Zach Woods. He's doing a nice job, but this is a tough place to pass. I mean, what do you try and do here, Baron? You try and get run off the corner, maybe try and do it on the high side?
Yeah, and that's exactly what Ryman is doing here. You notice his entry is high in 3, and he's low in 1 and 2, and he's doing exactly what you said, Dean, making that car extra wide in the rearview mirror of that Zach Woods machine.
Yeah, and I think it's working a little bit. It looks like Woods is kind of adjusting his line and maybe driving the mirror more than the front.
Right, and Ryman has done this before. He's a veteran here, and he's got enough laps here to know that eventually that Zach Woods machine in that 51, he's gonna make a mistake, and he'll be there to make the pass.
Back up front. All status quo, lap 52 of 150. It's Newton and Garrett battling it out right now, and they're all alone on this track.
So I'm paying attention to the chat room. Would you believe it, Dean? There's actually a Jason Spear fan in there.
There can't be. It's impossible.
He's paid him. He's got to have paid him.
Of course he has. I wouldn't be surprised if more show up.
That's more checks in the mail.
Jason, out of love, we make fun of him. Jason Spear currently in 4th position in a pretty sharp-looking O2 machine. I like it.
Yeah, it harkens back to Jeff Burton's old 31 Sinclair singular machine, huh?
And I like those logos on there too, if you didn't notice on the side panel there, Baron.
I did not notice. Let's take a good look at it here, Dean.
Hard to see, but it's a familiar WTR logo.
Well, there you go. See?
And a little shout out to my own league, but nonetheless, we'll try to leave that off there. Adam Newton still leading. Dale Garrett hounding him for the lead here. And I like what I've seen out of Garrett so far. He seemed patient. He's been here just riding, not making any moves. It's still early. I mean, that's what guys got to realize, Baron. These type of tracks, I mean, we haven't even really started yet. There's bound to be another caution yet.
Well, it sure does feel that way, but as we keep going longer and longer, some of these guys are starting to figure out pretty quickly that the tires are getting a little greasy and guys are coming to the back of the field. So we're going to start lapping cars here soon, Dean, and that's always an interesting situation for you if you're the leader.
Well, then we got to start thinking about green flag pit stops. If we don't get a caution, who's going to make them and win? And do you want to attempt coming in early and a caution biting you in the you-know-what?
Right. Well, perish the thought that we do one of these things under green. We had a few green flag stops last season. They were rare, but we had them. And tonight, if this thing carries on, we're closing in on halfway. So if you can't make it on fuel, I'm sure some of these guys are starting to think about it.
Yeah, I think that, I don't think you can make it on fuel. And I think these guys really got to think long and hard about when to pit. I mean, I don't know if you want to run it dry, but I think you got to go long because the possibility of a caution is always out there. And then when you put cautions in an admin's hand, that's always a tricky situation as well.
Right. So, some of these guys certainly blowing up the calculators right now, see how far they can go.
These two running great lines. You look back to Lester, Spear, and Lem. These three doing a great job, and I think they might even be closing in here. Let's see if we can get a time delta here. So we got from Garrett to Lester, and it looks like, it's staying pretty much the same. It's actually increased very slightly.
Well, that second place car has a supporter in the chat room. Carly Vickers is out there pulling for the 72. So publicly, there is one female pulling for Dale Garrett.
Well, my goodness. Dale Garrett, let's get a look in on you. Anybody who's got a female fan out there, I'm a fan of. The 72 machine has been quite impressive tonight on his debut. I like what I see. I was saying that earlier. Riding calmly. This is what you want to see out of a newcomer. And really any racer, but especially a newcomer, Baron. You want him to come out here, not ruffle any feathers, and there's really no need to at this point in the race.
Right, and here's something interesting I'm noticing out of Dale. It would appear that he understands the benefits of aero, and so what he's doing is he's got that right front hung out a little bit so he can get the headlight out there and get a little more downforce on the front of that car. I enjoy seeing that because I know what he's doing right now is he's really babying the rest of that vehicle. So he is actually driving this for the long run here, and if Dale's smart, he keeps doing this, we might have ourselves a hell of a battle towards the end of the race.
I always love listening to your tips on these. You know quite a bit about these cars compared to my knowledge level, and I always pick up something, and I hope the people listening do as well. Dale Garrett looking for the long run speed, and it looks like to me, Baron, it's a bit of a handful even for him.
Well, and I'm guessing that that's a byproduct of laps on tires right now, Dean. I think if we go some in car, we might see just about everybody with their hands a little bit full right now.
Yeah, you're
But
probably
you
right
see,
in that. Let's take a look at our leader on an in-car. Looking rather smooth
oh,
here.
he is he is absolutely glass, isn't he? Compared to the other driver. So yeah, Adam got himself a nice piece underneath him. That is impressive right there.
Yeah, it's real nice looking there. I mean, the difference I see is one fighting and one rolling here, and that bodes well for the 5 machine.
It sure does. He's got a nice piece underneath him tonight, folks. Adam Newton going to be a handful for the rest of the field.
Look back to Lem. He's got Fred Lester. Lester's been battling back here in that 48 machine, and we talked about last season about the progress he made. Now considered like a vet, the 48 machine starting to stalk Tyler Lamb.
Yeah, and Lamb having a little, and we got a little bit of a loose condition out of Lester there, but he's gathered it back up, and he's good.
Wasn't sure who got loose there. The two of them made kind of awkward maneuvers, but all good now. And it looks like Lem's starting to struggle. So, on lot 74 here, Baron, we could see pit stops coming up.
Yep, just at halfway, so we'll see comers and goers here as the pass is on.
Ooh, Lester up the track. That's a little aggressive there in the center of the corner.
Gathered it up, and right behind him, some hungry people as well. So the 51 looking for an opening, and Ryman Castle all back there looking to see what these boys do.
Boy, this is some great racing here halfway through the race, and we're battling heavy. Zach Woods thinking, I don't know, maybe I'll fit it in the middle here.
Well, I hope he doesn't try that. There's not that much room on this track.
There is not. Castle kind of closes that idea, says, get out of here.
And I think Lester's kind of figured out what he needs to do now to get past Lem. So he should be able to clear that car here as he exits this turn 4. So, yeah, there he goes.
That's like the 3rd or 4th time we've seen Lem kind of hung out on the high side. I'm not sure. It looks like he's going up there on purpose. He's had enough of this group. He says, I'll go to the back here. It's early.
Right. So these guys all get on by clean and green. And just a little past halfway now, keeping an eye on pit road, see if anybody gets down there. So here we go. Back to the leaders. Adam Newton and Dale Garrett out there doing what they can do.
It's been a calm and green race here so far. It's a great way to start the league. Nice long run. Some of the guys might have been counting on a caution. It has not come, but I dare to say we're only halfway there. Look back at Austin Miller. He's had some problems tonight. You don't see this out of the 42 too often.
No, and that's damage that he got when he inadvertently got into Colin Kennedy. There was an incident involving Colin, and Austin just really no place to go, and lots of damage on that 42. Not a great way to start the season.
You see the leaders are coming up on him, so he'll have to get up and get going. Meanwhile, you see Jason Spear in 3rd. Let's get a look in on how Jason Spear got in 3rd. So you see him right behind Fred Lester here. Come down into the corner. Little rub of the wall from Lester, and Lester just moves over, really. And I like that move from Lester. Early in the season, let's play for points. He might be a little quicker. Let's go ahead and let him go.
Yeah, and clearly he's got an ill-handling race car, so instead of trying to put up the good fight, live to fight another day.
Yeah, and he's back here in the Hornet's Nest now. He's got Castle all over him on entry. Almost contact there. The one gathers it up as he drives up the track. He's going to need a couple laps to get back up and try and move again.
And it looks like right behind him is the rookie Zach Woods. Talked a lot about him tonight, and he's made his way from the back of the field to the front again. So here we go, right? Newcomers to the league showing their strength early in this season.
Yeah, I like what I've seen out of both Woods and Garrett and Spears. So these three showing quite well. I mean, Woods was involved with that early caution. I'm not too sure Colin might would agree with me, but they look quite good, and I think they found themselves some good racers here.
Yeah, and that's what you want to see, man. Really, really excited to see what we see. And you're right, Dean. We may end up having some green flag stops here.
Well, and I'm thinking already, if you're one of these guys, let's go back to like Jeff Werderman. He's up 6 spots on the night in ninth. Adam Cole 10th. Pearson back in 11th. One of these type of guys, or even Miller back there in 12th. Why not come in now, Baron? I mean, you're already having a rough night. Let's come in now. Let's get fresh rubber and let these guys stay out until lap 110, 120. Maybe you can make some hay here.
Right, and faster laps mean more track position, and looks like right now track position's a premium. Dean, these guys are really going to be seconds faster with fresh rubber. So we'll see some guys really kind of chew up the field after they start taking rubber.
Looks like Lester's kind of starting to feel his way around here, and he's driving a bit of a different line here, Baron. Let's go in car and just see what Lester's doing. It's kind of almost a diamond there.
Yeah. Got a lot of wheel in the center of that turn, though, Dean. I don't know if that's by design or not, if that car's just sliding on him.
Wow, that is a lot of wheel there. That'll produce quite the tight condition, you would think.
Yeah. I don't know how long those tires will hang on like that. Oh, he's really got a lot of input in there. So that may be working for him, though. I'm glad I'm not the one driving.
Good battle here. Lester, Castle, Woods, and Lem. Lem's attached himself to the back of this group. He let him by. And since then, he's kind of gathered it up and he's fine when he can race his line.
Yeah. And he's recovered nicely. So like to see that. Like to see that bounce back from Lem.
Up front, still Garrett stalking the 5 of Newton, and I just love it. I love what this is my whole game, Baron, is to get up and just trash someone, so much so that you're almost laughing in your car because you know you're bugging the crap out of them.
Oh, and just close to that wall, but he is using up all of that racetrack, Dean, and you're right, he is distracting, but boy, that was close.
He might be distracting himself there, I'm not too sure, but Garrett hanging on here. We've seen how smooth Newton was, so I mean, I think Garrett's really pushing this car to stay here with him, and he's doing a great job.
Yeah, and you can see that he's changed his line again, right? So he's low in 3 and 4 and high in 1 and 2. He is really keeping that front end out in the air, and I think that's got to be by design.
Well, don't look now, but look at Jason Spear. You know, we've run with Jason, and he is truly a long-run guy. He is not going to burn his tires up or anything. And here he is. I mean, he is making up time. Now only 1.7 behind second-place Garrett. So watch out for the O2.
Yeah, and look, I can promise you, Dean, if these guys get side by side for the lead, Jason will be there. It only takes a couple laps for that to happen, for that third-place car to catch up. So Jason, a wily veteran of other series, and putting all that knowledge to use right now.
All right, Garrett and Newton. Let's kind of go through the field here. We go look a little further back. Here's Castle still fighting, trying to get by Lester. Lester hanging on to 4th position. It's Zach Woods back in 6th, and he's doing a nice job. It kind of found himself a little home here right now. Tyler Lem, after I said he was at the back of this pack doing good, it's kind of fallen off a little bit, and Perry's starting to close in on him. The Skull Bandit making some moves. It's Jeff Werderman leading a group with Adam Cole in it, and that's a lap car, I believe, of Alan Rowell in there. Go a little further back, and it's Austin Miller. Actually, we skipped over Adam Cole. Adam Cole in 10th position here, running around these lap cars. Miller back in 11th. It's Pearson in 12th, right there with Miller. And then Colin J. Kennedy, your pole sitter, wrecked early on. He won't be happy about that. In 13th, still looking for the caution.
You
And
know, and when we interviewed Colin last season, at the end of the season, he pointed out having a strong start to this next season was going to be the key to him securing that championship. And you got to think that right now he sees the walls closing in already, because an early incident can be a late problem for him at the end of the season.
well, I always say stuff like there's only one car you can control, right, Baron? And that's your own. So you can't control other people. So it may have been Woods' fault on the incident. But what could have Colin J. Kennedy done for his own, for his race, for himself? I mean, he can only control himself. What could he have done differently?
Yeah, I don't know, Dean. I mean, hard place to be. He's leading the race, right? Do you let the guy go, or do you fight the position? The racer in you wants you to stay out in front, right? You need to be out there, and people are counting on you to bring home that checkered flag. Get to that pay window, right? Everybody wants to win. Early in the season, do you let a guy go that's the rookie? Hard to tell. I'm glad I'm not the one that had to make that decision.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no real right answer there, and I don't think he did anything wrong by any means, but it's like I always tell everybody, you can only control yourself, so there's no sense in even focusing on what the other did, only what you could do. Right now, it's Newton doing everything he can to get his season off to the right start, and Dale Garrett on his debut up 12 spots, still right on his bumper.
And we are going to bring some lap cars into the mix here, and that could provide a little entertainment for the 5 and the 72 here. So keep an eye on what happens here as they catch up to Pearson, who is struggling to keep himself on the same lap as these guys.
This is really interesting. A little move here out of Garrett. No, he's wiggling all over. So Garrett's really fighting this car, but it's looked like it's free, where the 5 looks like perhaps it's tight. And this is solely from driving, Baron. Talk a little bit about how driving different. You talked a little bit about what you've seen from Garrett earlier on, and driving different can affect the car and the wear.
Well, it sure can, and what we're seeing now is, Garrett has taken to driving the car with the rear wheels, plain and simple. The back tires are the ones doing most of the steering and the acceleration off the turn. So his hands are fast in the machine, and as long as he's got it underneath him, that's going to be a fast race car, Dean. And what we see out of Newton is steady Eddie and easy on the throttle. Nice easy inputs on the wheel. And that's the way you want the machine to handle, but is it necessarily as fast as this guy behind him? Well, time will tell, but it looks like the 72 is knocking on that door for the lead.
It really does. And Spear's still hanging there, still coming. I mean, since last time we looked in, he's gained another 2/10. So Spear is coming. We're running out of laps, though. Lap 112 of 150.
Yeah, and don't hold your breath, because pit stops may need to happen here, and if that's the case, throw everything you and I just said out the window.
Yeah, I'm tend to think that's not the case. I mean, someone would have came in by now if we had pit stops were needed. So I'm thinking they can make it here, the whole 150. And in that case, here we go. A race move for the race lead. The 72 down to the bottom, door closed. The 5, not the best to run, but he'll hold them off.
You're right, and he poked his nose under there, let him know he was there. He's looking for the pass now. Adam Newton's got some hard choices to make, and it looks like the 72 is going to help him make it.
He is so starting to get antsy, and this, he stalked him for a long time, but Adam being a really good job at just staying smooth and running his line and not getting rattled. And, you do what the 72 is doing to rattle a guy. When he doesn't get rattled, well, it turns around on you. Now you're a little rattled, and you start sticking it in there, Baron.
Speaking of sticking it in there, Jason Garrett actually did the head fake there, and it brought Jason Spear 3/10 closer. So when they start going for this pass, Jason Spear will be there. It'll be a three-way car competition for the lead.
Okay, a little complicated.
That's easy for me to say.
Yeah, Spear's coming. I mean, what a job. Let's take a look in on Spear from the cockpit view and just see what he's doing. And you can see here, it's butter here.
And we got a car on pit road.
Stops. So apparently they may have to pit here. Castle's in, Woods is in, and this shakes everything up. You've got to be great on pit road.
So green flag pit stops make or break a man on a race like this. These guys will go 2 laps down under green flag condition while they get service on these vehicles. So their sincerest hope, no yellow flags now, and this thing goes green.
I mean, I don't think anybody can make it. There's no reason that Castle and Woods would come in unless they had to. So I imagine we'll see here any time now. Our leaders will come in, and it's going to be who blinks first. And right. I think I want to be first in here.
Yeah, you sure do. You want in and off the pit road when it's not very crowded. 30 laps to go. You're only taking fuel. So, you know, somebody may take tires, but right now under green flag, you're probably just taking fuel.
So interesting. Those two pit. Nobody else takes. Way down on the apron is the 5 that time. That was an interesting line.
Tripped the pit camera.
Did so.
So he's really protecting that bottom line, and here comes Jason Spear.
The 02 right in the frame. Now in the 72's down. Garrett is in. So Dale Garrett making pit stop on lap 123, a 150. First in. I love this call from the 72.
And let's see if tires go on that machine. Doesn't look like it. And it looks like this is going to be a fuel-only stop.
Tires.
Right sides. Yep.
Okay, rights are going on. We'll stay with him and see if he goes for lefts as well. And indeed he will. So a long pit stop.
All right.
Interesting choice from Garrett. I mean, I think I like it, but with only 25 laps left, could be a mistake. We're going to see Newton out front. Spear now in second position. 26 laps to go here in America's Mattress Serta Sheep 150.
So Dale Garrett comes off.
Should that be sleep? I think that should be sleep, should it not?
No,
the 72 has spun it! Dale Garrett has spun out coming off of pit road, or virtually there, close to that. And now he's in heavy traffic. Good choice not to come on the track, but that hurts.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, all that track position's gone, and those new tires are now not going to help Dale very much as he falls another lap down.
Let's see what happened here. And you can see he's already off track.
Well, this is leaving pit row, so.
All right, well, we'll follow right through. He comes off and almost makes contact with Newton, or does. Newton's on the apron there and almost got him. Wow. And then he goes into the corner and just loops it. And that's his cold tires, baby. Right now on pit road, it's Newton coming in.
Yep, so everybody on pit road now taking tires and fuel, so maybe just fuel for some of them.
This is interesting decision making. Newton's down and away. I like the call from Newton. He's got a big lead now. He's out of there.
Yeah, clean
Spear's
pit stop.
Still sitting there getting tires on. He's going to have a half a lap or more to run him down, and only 20 laps to do it. I don't think he can.
That's going to be a lot of help if he's going to get there.
Oh boy, we got a hornet's nest here, Baron.
And Andrew Perry listed as your leader right now. Jeff Werdeman underneath him for the pass here. So we got some guys here we hadn't talked much about here, Dean, out here challenging for the win.
Werderman leading, Perry second, Cole is right there. These three are all on the same lap. Castle looking for racing room, probably on fresher tires, nowhere to go. They're going 2 wide. They thought about maybe 3 or 4 or 5 wide, just can't get it done.
This is a parking lot. Boys and girls, this is a traffic jam on I-465. Let me tell you about it.
Wow, there's some frustrated drivers in this mess. Let me tell you, they're trying to get through here. Castle finally get some clear track, pushes his way through. But your race leader right now, the 81, Jeff Werdeman, we've seen him do it, a fuel mileage race. Oh, and there's a wreck. Oh. This is going to change everything. It's Perry going around, Castle's around, the 94 Roel's around, and if there's no caution, it's a crime.
You got to throw a yellow. Yeah, there it goes.
Oh, boy. Was that old announcer? Oh, Dilly.
Go get your popcorn, ladies and gentlemen. This is about to get real interesting here on this
So
restart.
the traffic jam here is what caused it. You see Perry coming off. It looks like Castle may come up into him, but the carnage starts there. And lots of damage, lots of situations. Too much to see, too much to call. But Warderman, Adam Cole, and Austin Miller, Mr. Where He Come From, Mr. Whatever I call him on a given night, back in this thing. Unbelievable turn of events. Miller going to stay out and take the lead.
So how about that? So Werdeman and Cole on pit road, they're going to get their tires because they can now, right? They can get fresh rubber. And these guys are sitting in the catbird seat, Dean, as long as they get off pit road clean. This should put them right behind Austin Miller with fresh tires.
And what about Newton here? Newton's in, and I don't know what Newton's doing. If he gets tires, he's going a lap down, I believe. Miller, or the 5, down and away. He's going to be behind Werderman. Cole's out there. Wow, we have really shook things up. Here come another group. Zach Woods is in. We got a bit of a parking lot here. My goodness, Baron. What a turn of events late in this race. The 72 going to be a lap down here. This is going to be tragedy for him. It's a good race all night, but you know, pit road, it'll bite some people, and those cold tires will bite you too. Austin, you know, go ahead.
Had he made it off pit road and not spun, right, that puts him out in front with 4 fresh tires, right, and literally nobody to challenge him.
He did everything right, but when he was coming around pit road, okay, the 5 riding underneath the yellow line, as he had been for several laps, kind of hit the side of him, and that'll just jolt that, you know, that concentration loose. He heads down in the next corner, maybe thinking more about being hit than thinking about riding with cold tires, and around he goes.
So now a lot of cars trapped a lap down, and we're going to see some wave arounds here, Dean. Drivers looking to get back on the lead lap. You know, they can't pit now, so we're going to see some cars out there get the wave around, and we'll re-rack these boys.
Well, Cole and Miller are up front right now. I don't see anybody getting a wave around.
Oh, I don't either.
Oh, and I'm not too sure anybody really earned a wave around or anything. I mean, the league could decide that's what's appropriate, but so right now it's Miller, Cole, Werderman, and Newton for the race win. Miller on old tires, no gas to 42, but he did pit at one point early in the race, and he is flying out like a cannon to the lead.
And Austin Miller, we know has
Spear, there's all kinds of carnage going on. And we got ourselves a severe parking lot here, damage everywhere.
Demolition derby.
It wasn't Spear, but right behind him, Spear had to check up a little bit, and in the other lane, right behind him, something horrible occurred there. Let's get a look in on it. So you look up towards the front of this group here, or the middle of it, the 5 on the high side. You got the 72 coming on the high side. Oh, and there's Castle, gets into the 3, shoves him into the corner. And I missed, there's 2 or 3 different incidents happening
2 different incidents, yeah. So the one gets
Adam
into the 3, Cole, sends him into the 5.
Let's see what happened to the Cole and Werderman here. They go down in the corner. And that was a severe neck code there. That's, I don't normally call neck code, but that's pretty bad neck code right there, Baron.
Yeah, so it looks like Spear, maybe neck coated. Was it Werderman?
I think Werderman neck coated with him. And we go back a little bit more, and we'll see. You got Newton, and you got the 72 here.
And watch the 1 come into the, or get the 3 into the 5.
Oh, the 1 come in and got into the 3. Says Ryman Castle. Let's get another look at that. You see coming into the corner, bam, a little shot, sends him in hard, and everybody's checking up, and bam, that's your parking lot, folks.
Yeah, and he collects the 5. So, yeah, a lot of good cars damaged. Anybody clean?
I don't know, but Miller, how does he do these things? He's out front. All he's got to do is get a good restart, and this race is his. We thought this is going to. We've never seen him race so bad. The 42, always near the front. Just riding around beyond 10th place most of this race. Here he is, looking at victory.
Amazing. We counted him out at the beginning of the race, didn't we?
You never count out the 42, but
nope,
I think
I have learned my lesson.
I never learned my lesson, Baron. I make the same mistake over and over.
Yeah, me
what's
too.
What's that the definition of?
Insanity, Dean. It's what it is.
Me.
It's what it is. It's how I pick my women.
Yes, indeed. We won't go down that road. At least not with me, we won't.
But we know Brittany Griner goes down, and she is out of prison, and back here we go to racing here, folks. And I just can't let it go, Dean. It's so fun.
You're gonna pretend like I didn't hear that castle. What's happening? Down on the grass.
What's he doing down there? Cooling his tires?
I thought he was going to take someone out for a minute. I thought he had enough.
He's getting a lap back. All right.
Okay, so Ryman Castle coming around, and this is going to be big for him. And he's got a little bit of damage, but he's been good. So watch out for what Castle might be able to do here. Wow. Always the entertaining series. The Raid Furniture Mart Super Series. Check it out every Wednesday, 9 p.m. right here on Wind Tunnel TV. They never fail to disappoint.
Nice.
Or whatever I'm trying to say, Baron. Austin Miller, Werderman, Newton, Cole, Castle, and Perry, your lead lap drivers. That was pretty bad. Here we go, folks. This battle is raging on. Miller's out front, but how about Jeff Werderman? We know you got a bit of a soft spot for Jeff Werderman, Baron. Here, oh no, and Newton wiggles and wobbles, and it's on from there.
Calamity, Dean. Calamity is what we call it. The wheels have fallen off the series in the last 20 laps.
Calamity Jane has shown her ugly head. So you see Newton in the 5 machine there, coming off. Cole trying to get on the outside of him. Newton wiggles, corrects, up into Cole. Colin Kennedy gets a little piece. The 99, is that Lester? That's Lem. He gets a big piece of that.
Zach Woods got involved. Yep.
And my apologies for the disappointing thing. Whatever I'm trying to say, we love this series and they're doing a great job. Baron can barely stand it. He probably can't comment for the rest of the race after that one.
Three laps to go.
We're making them cry, folks. Adam Perry hits pit road. So it looks like maybe Lem gets a lucky dog here. Could be Perry. It looks like it should be Lem, I think. Could have been Woods. Boy, is he wheeling it around here. Trying to heat up those tires, Baron.
Yeah, he sure is. And, heating the tires is going to help him enter that first turn. Hopefully it'll help him exit the second turn, so. So Austin Millen, Jeff Werderman, Ryman Castle, Adam Cole, Adam Newton, and Jason Spear. Top 5. All right.
Yeah, this thing has just been turned on its head through these pit stops, slash cautions, and I say it all the time, Baron, and a caution like the 72 had a little self spin, right? No big deal. Like I mean, for the rest of the racers, no big wreck or anything. But here you go after. Now you re-rack them late in the race, and you end up with 4 or 5 cautions. That's how it happens.
Yeah, and that quickly your race goes from hey, I'm looking pretty good to hey, I need to catch up.
And speaking of a race turning around, look at that 5 machine. All kinds of beat up. Still
Well,
hanging on in 6th, though.
yep, still there, and still got a shot.
All right, looks like we're going to have ourselves a green-white checkered here. It's going to be Werderman and Miller, Cole and Castle, Perry and Newton, Spear and Woods, your lead lap drivers.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag drops. Down and away they go. A slow start for everybody. Castle looks underneath the Werderman. The one's going to get clear, I think, and take second. So Ryman Castle, with just a lap or two, see what he can do with Austin Miller. A
And Ryman
great
Castle
run there.
got a much better car there than the 42. That 42 had
Oh,
heavy
the one's down low, way low. Door closed. 42 shuts the door on him. The one's got one more corner. Austin Miller in the 42 looking to win this race through 4. He's going to win it. And Werderman wrecks. Oh, no. Werderman down to 7th position at the finish.
He's gonna bring it across the line backwards, Dean. I can't believe what I just saw. Big wreck after the after the end of the race too.
All kinds of carnage out there, but it's Austin Miller, your race winner. Unbelievable how he gets it done.
Never count the man out, Dean. That's an incredible recovery after what a disastrous beginning to this race it was.
Just unbelievable. I don't know. There was no shot for him. None. And here he is. How do you win with a 0% chance of winning?
It's amazing, and we've seen him do it before. Look at that car. It's an accordion, Dean. I mean, he's got damage on every corner of that thing. You just wonder that. I give up. I better driver than I am, no question.
Austin Miller, opening night, an exciting race, lots of green flag action, some great racing up front, and then all hell broke loose. And we had a few cautions, a few incidents, and Austin Miller takes it. Just incredible action right now. Let's take a short commercial break. We come back, we'll get interviews with our top 3. All right, welcome back here to New Smyrna and the American Mattress Serta Sleep 150. I don't think it's sheep, but sheep and sleep kind of go together, Baron.
Well, sure. And the
Well, you
Serta
count
sheep.
the sheep, you know.
That's right. Yeah, and they're warm and woolly, so that's like your favorite blankie.
And what better place to be counting on than laying on one of those America's mattresses? I'm telling you. Anyway, one heck of a race, Baron. I mean, opening night, we had a great race, a couple of mistakes, the big one in the booth. Um, Which is kind of par for the course. We have some fun here and we have some great racing here. I love this league, man. What did you think of the race overall, Baron?
Yeah, great racing, good rookies. I love that we had that nice long green flag run and during the race. Really screwed the field up when we started taking pit stops, though, and we had ourselves a very surprise winner tonight, Dean. And that just goes to show you hang long and hang tough, right? Because you never know how these things are going to play out.
Yeah, absolutely. Hang in there, and this is exactly when I was talking to Jason Spear earlier on in the day. Saying just hang around, and later on, you never know what's going to happen. That's exactly what these guys did. And right now we bring in the K-T.org machine of Adam Cole, someone who did just that, hung around after early problems, comes up, ends up 5 spots, third position. Adam, you got to be happy with the finish.
Yeah, I thought I got dizzy on some rides at Disney World last week. I'm still dizzy after that last 10 or 15 laps. I don't know how I ended up finishing in the top three. That was wild.
It was wild indeed. I mean, we had a long green flag run. Let's start there. How were you feeling during that run? I mean, and what were you thinking about pit stops? Obviously, you did not. I don't think you pitted. I wouldn't say it's obvious.
So I drove like a rookie for the first 25, 30 laps. Apparently that 2 week off season just kind of really took a toll on me. So I just had to take it easy. I took fuel since I caused the first caution, and I was like, well, my only hope now is that we go green. And so when I got behind Werderman there on that long run, me and him both were on the same strategy. So we both weren't going to push the issue, and it played out in our favor. And then I don't know what happened those last few restarts.
Man, it got crazy out there, and it's to be expected. Shootout style racing. You got fast cars and slow cars all mixed together. It got a little nutty out there, but you come in and really, you're all alone. Were you feeling a little lonely tonight there as the only Cole out on the track?
Yeah, I knew Brian was going to sit out to add me in, and Walker made the last minute decision not to race. He's got an exam first thing in the morning, so he needs to kind of focus on his schoolwork. He's going to do that this week. And so, yeah, I did not, for the first half of this race, do the family name much justice, but it all worked out in the end.
Oh man, you did great, Adam. We couldn't be happier to see you get off to a decent start here with a third place. Congratulations, man. We look forward to watching you the rest of the season. And if you got anybody you'd like to thank, now's the time.
Yeah, thank you all at Wind Tunnel TV. Still want to thank Marvin for, he's not racing with us right now. He's going to race some, but, he created this league, and Adam Newton and my brother Brian have really taken it over. So thanks to them, and thanks to the KT support group, k-t.org, America's Mattress, Furniture Mart, and also Sellers Racing. Got all those on my card. They're helping out. And congratulations to Austin Miller. Dude just knows how to play strategy. Hoping to have that 10 lap run with fresh tires to try to do something with him. But man, he's a tough one. Congratulations to Austin.
All right, Baron, that's the 83 machine, Mr. Adam Cole in third place tonight.
Yeah, getting used to talking to the 83 there is he's found himself into the pay window a few times. But I'm here with the second place car and Ryman Castle, driver of the number one car this season. Ryman, early start, you took chaos to the pay window. Tell me about your night, buddy.
Oh, it's just a rough, long and rough race for me. I screwed up. I was the fastest car in practice. Felt pretty good, and the setup wasn't the greatest, but it was challenging. I'm not gonna say it was bad. It was very very hard to drive and hard to be fast with it. But I think it made a lot of people work for it. And me and my teammate Zach Woods, we figured it out pretty quick, and so we screwed up in qualifying. I was just trying to lay down an easy lap, just try to get top five in qualifying and pound the fence. So I ruined that. So I started kind of mid pack to the rear, and yeah, I mean I drove to the kind of to the front, got to the top four, and got wrecked on a restart. Didn't get a yellow. I was about a straightaway back from the pack. Drove back up to fourth, passing everybody on a long green flag run. Took the fuel on a green flag stop because we were about to run out, and then Yeah, it just something worked out. I got put down a lap, got a wave around for a lucky dog, and just put it on dig. And I was just trying to pass Austin. I knew I had better tires than him, and I tried diving down under one. Hopefully he'd give me a lane, but it wasn't there, so I couldn't wreck him for it. But tired to finish the second, man. I feel like I'm good enough to win here, but just it's tough, man. These guys are pretty good.
Yeah, it just speaks to the nature of the league itself. These guys can drive, and Ryman, you're no slouch either. I know that we're going to see you in victory lane. Tell me a little bit about this newly formed team and your new co-driver.
It's actually been a team we've had for a while. There's probably at least another 10 of us that are on the team, but me and Zach been racing for a long time, and we actually live about 20 minutes away from each other. So I asked him, "Hey man, there's this league." He actually watched a lot of them on my, I shared my stream for him, and he watched it while I raced last season. I was like, "You want to try to be part of this? These some really good guys, and not the jerks that we usually race with. These are really good people, and come join this." I didn't want to bring all my buddies over; just I brought him over because he can race well, and he really seems to enjoy it, I believe. So it's kind of nice to have someone to talk to during the race because before I sat by myself and didn't have anybody to talk to, and we kind of were on the same strategy, kind of work together. I mean, just what you can, But so yeah, it's just nice. Zach's pretty good, so yeah, I just hope one of us can win. I mean, that's the goal, right?
Beginning of the season, Ryman, we got a lot of races to go, a lot of chances for you to see victory lane. Anybody you want to thank for your effort tonight, and what we can expect for next week?
Yeah, I just gotta thank P1 Performance. CB Custom Painting, they came on board. Race One Wraps, always making my cars look awesome. Jex Performance, Cody Kaufman Company, Rocket Fabrication Suspension, and Awesome Maynard Racing. Couldn't do it none of those guys. They're real big supporters, and even on this iRacing deal we play, it's fun. And thanks to you guys, and thanks to Adam and Brian for putting this league back on. It's sad to see Marvin step away, but he's been doing it a long time, and I respect Marvin a lot. I'm glad to see him. Hopefully, he's happier. Maybe he'll get the bug and come back and race with us again.
I don't think we're going to see Marvin sit out too long here, Dean. But we got second place driver Ryman Castle, the number one machine there, Dean. And shout out to all the boys that make this league work. Dean, who you got up there in victory lane?
Yes, sir. It's the 42 machine, Mr. Austin Miller, tonight's winner. I never thought I'd say that tonight. Congratulations, Austin.
Thanks, Dean. Yeah, it was didn't look good for 4/5 of the race, so came to me at the end.
Let's talk a little bit about fifth number one and maybe two. What was going on, Austin? Did you have some early trouble, or were you just not agreeing with the track or the setup? What was with the early problems for you?
Well, yeah, I met the queue to green. I was supposed to start fourth. I actually wasn't upset about that starting in the back. But yeah, just how it fell with yellows early. I took fuel early, so I had fuel to run the distance, and I never took tires the whole race, so it just kind of worked out that way.
All right, so a little better than I thought. Just part of the plan, really, for you, Austin. And boy, it took a while. You must have been worried as we were getting around, lap 120 or so, and you must have been thinking, "Man, I thought we'd have a caution by now."
Yeah, it was kind of weird, like laps from like 80 to 110, 100. Like I was wishing for a caution. Then at that point, I was committed. I'm just gonna run it out. So once we got to that point, I was just okay. I started pushing at that point. I was running like 2 tenths faster than everyone on the track because I'd saved the whole race. So
Well, I should have known better, than to doubt not only whether you could win or not, but whether you were actually on a strategy, Austin. Very impressive, man. Like I said, I mean, you was riding around in 10th or something like that, and I thought, we're just not going to talk too much about Austin tonight, but there you are, coming up late and ended up in victory lane. Talk a little bit about like the last restart, maybe the last couple even, just what you were thinking, and of course dealing with Ryman Castle there. You got fresh rubber on and looked pretty. He almost took a shot at you there.
yeah, that's about as close as you can get in iRacing without touching someone. I actually am shocked we didn't hit there going into one on the last lap. Ironically, I ran my fastest lap of the whole race on the last lap with 150 lap old tires, or however many laps it was. But yeah, I mean, I was just switching up the restart there. I went late that last restart, just to hope they'd get side by side, but Ryman cleared him, so he had a shot there at the end.
Yeah, he's looking good, and I think you got to give him credit. Although he threw it in there low on you, and you didn't give him particularly a lot of room, but you're not gonna late in the race. He backed out and did not get into you. So credit to both of you, running clean and keeping it green there at the finish. You come away with the victory here in race number 1. I'm sure this is going to propel you to some great things this year. Congratulations on the victory, Austin, and for this, the series. I don't know how many wins this is, but for this season, that's race number 1, win number 1, man. And I'm sure we'll see you back in victory lane. Congrats again.
Yep, thanks, man.
All right, sir. Baron Austin Miller, the 42, back in victory lane.
Yeah, Mister, where did he come from?
And I moved Baron out. Baron, I'm sorry, you were saying?
I was kicked out the club.
We love you. You're never kicked out. But, Miller, Mr. Where did he come from? Man, he's unbelievable. He can win in so many ways. You heard him talking, Baron. This wasn't really just a fluke or something. He was planning a lot of this.
Yeah, and that's the mark of a true veteran. He had some bad luck in the beginning, but he knows how these things will play out. If you keep your nose clean and you drive smart, you're going to get a chance. And Austin took that chance tonight and got a W out of it. So great way to start the season as we close the chapter on the first race. Dean, great start for this Furniture Mart Super Series.
Yeah, great start. I love what I've seen. The green flag racing was fantastic. The excitement, of course, we love. And we hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you'll join us every Wednesday, 9:20 p.m. right here on Wind Tunnel TV. Until the next time, we'll see you later, folks.